A big step in the career of young Shannon Briggs of Brooklyn, New York, as he wins the 1992 U.S. Heavyweight Championship. Coming up, two former champs getting together. Sugar Shane Mosley and half-pint Steve Johnston. Mosley at 139 pounds, but last year, Johnston, who at that time was the reigning champ, was decked in the first round by Vernon Forrest.
Vernon Forrest, Mel, has since gone on to become a star. He is the reigning national champion at 139 pounds. Stevie last year was the defending national champion and surprised by a taller, stronger Vernon Forrest early in the bout. Another standing 8 count, but Stevie Johnston, Mel, as we saw last year, came back, didn't he?
He sure did. Vernon Forrest, the winner over Steve Johnston last year. Johnston won the championship in 1990 and hopes to beat Shane Mosley tonight.
And the decision, as they awaited it last year, you can see Vernon Forrest virtually came out of nowhere to win this bout over the defending national champion. A 4-1 decision. Stevie Johnston took the loss pretty well, but at first, he was amazed.
I was shocked because I thought I pulled it out, but then it went back. I said, damn, he beat me. I just had to suck it up. I said, yeah, he got me. I go on to accept defeat.
And Steve Johnston will be the favorite here, I assume. He's from nearby Denver, Colorado, about 75 miles away, although he has now moved to Colorado Springs and is training here at the U.S. Olympic Center. So this will be a good one. Steve Johnston, who has won championship to his credit. Shane Mosley has won twice at 132 pounds in 1989 and 1990.
Two quality boxers at 139 pounds. Shane Mosley moving up a bit. Stevie Johnston, they have met before.
Steve Johnston lost to Shane Mosley in the semifinals in 1989 for third place. Tail of the tape, about the same age. Mosley with a height advantage and about the same amount of experience.
Stevie Johnston is not a great boxer. What he is a very, very tough kid. Short, he'll like to get inside, he'll brawl with you. You saw a little bit of that in the bout with Vernon Forrest last year. This should be a good one.
Lyle Ackelstead is a referee for this bout. Steve Johnston in red, Shane Mosley of Pomona, California in the blue. I mentioned Steve Johnston being a tough kid. He comes from a tough section of Denver. Went to Manual High School and was an outstanding all-around athlete, played football. The punt returner, defensive back, and was recruited by several major schools to return punts.
Idaho State were two football schools that wanted him. He said Utah was looking at him. You talk to Shane Mosley, he feels he needs to be more aggressive to beat Johnston because Johnston will be aggressive. You can see Johnston, this is not unlike the fight with the taller McKee and the shorter Griffin. Johnston all over the taller Mosley, and he's going to press this fight. Did not like losing the title last year.
Shane Mosley lost to Steve Johnston 21-17 in the semifinals of the Olympic Festival, and that began a very difficult year for Shane because the loss kept him out of the World Championships and the Pan American Games, and he said he had to go back to the drawing board. Felt he wasn't ready mentally, but he feels he's a much smarter, more mature boxer now.
Johnston's been working on the left uppercut. Mosley has a left jab, moves his head well. Says he tightens up in big bouts, and this certainly for the national title is a big bout. And if you tighten up and you don't have that extension and you have a reach advantage, it could cause some problems.
Three-time Olympic coach Pat Nappy, the godfather of U.S. amateur boxing, said a couple of years ago that Shane Mosley has the fastest hands of any U.S. boxer.
Stevie pressing him, definitely pressing him. Johnston had a cold after his semi-final bout. He beat Patrick Washington in the semis, and he came out of it with a head cold. So the second and third round could be telling for Stevie Johnston.
See Mosley stepping back and allowing those punches to miss, and then using that hand speed to land some shots. He really has quick hands. Sometimes that aggressiveness can work against you if you're facing a good counterpuncher like a Mosley.
See, that's what Mosley does not want. Stevie Johnston wants to brawl. Mosley wants to keep his distance. Whoever is able to move the bout in their direction is going to have the upper hand.
As you mentioned, they've met twice previously. Each boxer has a victory. Johnston straight ahead, try to close off the ring. Mosley backpedaling and landing some punches. He was just cautioned for pinning Johnston's glove beneath his arm. Final seconds of round one. Two evenly matched boxers, Steve Johnston and Shane Mosley. We'll have more from Colorado Springs in a moment.
If I want to keep playing baseball, I'm going to have to keep.
For the championship at 139 pounds, Mosley in blue, Johnston in red. Good left by Mosley, snapping Johnston's head back.
That 4-3 score indicates that neither boxer is scoring, in the opinion of the judges, many scoring blows. So the boxer that gets a flurry and 3 or 4 scoring blows, a combination, could take a big lead in this bout.
Shane Mosley is coached by his dad, Jack, who's in his corner tonight. Steve Johnston got started in boxing at the age of 14. His uncle Richard got him started.
Stevie cannot afford to give this kind of space to Shane Mosley. Mosley wants to sit outside and pop away, and he will. Steve Johnston has to get up in his face, get closer.
Flurry by Mosley, counter punching, and a good left by Shane.
Johnston walked right into that.
And another one.
Yeah.
And a right. Good overhand right by Shane Mosley. See that hand speed? He is really quick. Minute remaining in round two.
Good right hand by Stevie Johnston out of that clinch.
Johnston landing again with a left. Mosley back with a right. Johnston trying to be the aggressor, but missing with quite a few of those punches.
He's a little wary. He doesn't want to come too far inside, but I believe he's behind in this bout. And Steve Johnston will have to press Shane Mosley from a closer distance if he's going to catch up, score points.
Johnston was just cautioned for butting.
Good left by Johnston.
Oscar De La Hoya, the champion at 132 pounds, one of those who's not competing tonight, getting ready for the World Championship Challenge. He's ranked second in the world.
Talked to him the other day, sitting at 130 pounds, in great shape, very disappointed that he was not boxing. Said he couldn't wait to get back in the ring. And he's a tiger sometimes. When he keeps his head in it, he's got potential. Talking about Evander Holyfield and Shannon Briggs and potential. There's a guy who's just on your screen. Oscar De La Hoya has all the potential in the world to be a great professional boxer.
And there's Jack Mosley, Shane Mosley's father, in his corner. Jack still has the wrapped shoes and shorts from Shane's first bout at the age of 9. And Shane is ahead 10-9 after 2 rounds, according to the electronic scoring system.
Well, that's amazing when you think about some of these bouts that were in the 40s and 50s tonight. 10-9. Now, that's either good defense, but I think what more is dictating the scoring is the fact that Stevie Johnston is keeping his distance. I think if he moves in, he can steal this bout from Shane Mosley, but he cannot sit out there at arm's length.
So this one is very much up for grabs, with Mosley ahead 10-9 as we go to the third and final round.
Steve Johnston coming in. Remember the head cold in the semifinals. Third round could be tough for Steve Johnston if it's bothering him.
We asked Steve if it's an advantage for him being from Colorado and being used to the altitude, and he said no, not really. Which surprised me because...
Well, I played football out here in Wyoming, and I can tell you it is an advantage. If they didn't get 40 points on us in the first quarter, which they normally did, we usually could catch up by the fourth quarter.
Caution to Steve Johnston for holding behind the head. division appears to be loaded with quality boxers. Vernon Forrest, the reigning U.S. champion, he's ranked 3rd in the world. Both Mosley and Johnston are former U.S. champions. Mosley landing lefts and rights and forcing Johnston to back up.
Teron Millette, another tremendous amateur boxer.
The U.S. is very strong in the lighter weights. Eric Griffin, a world champion, 106. We saw De La Hoya at 132. Tim Austin at 112, also an excellent boxer. But as you move into the heavier weights, that's where the U.S. seems to be weak, although Shannon Briggs looks very promising.
And Puha tonight, too, I thought, in the super heavyweight division. I thought he has a tremendous amount of potential.
The best heavyweight in the world is Felix Savon of Cuba, who, if he lived anywhere else, would be a pro by now. He's a great boxer. Good exchange by Mosley. Johnston missing.
Johnston standing right in front of Shane Mosley, and that's not a good idea.
Johnston trying to keep the pressure on, but Mosley eluded most of those punches.
Mosley appears to be tiring, and Steve Johnston normally, as we've seen him in the past, would be pressing harder here. He's really not.
And Stevie looks a little tired.
I'm wondering if he thinks he's ahead in this bout.
I wouldn't think so.
I wouldn't think so either, but he's boxing like he's ahead.
Mosley just hit him with a good right as Johnston was walking in. Mosley bouncing off the ropes, counter-punching effectively. So it's all over at 139 pounds. Will it be Shane Mosley, who's already won 2 titles at 132? Or will Steve Johnston win his 2nd in this division?
Well, it's going to be close, but I would think, I'll go out on a limb and say it was Shane Mosley, and that was not the Steve Johnston that I'm used to seeing. If you remember that bout against Vernon Forrest last year in the finals, he took a beating early, but he came back and he was a wild man late in the bout. I didn't see any of that spark from Stevie Johnston tonight.
Not nearly as aggressive as he's been in previous bouts.
So here's the 3rd round action where you would expect to see Stevie Johnston mauling Mosley. He does there, but that was really one of the few times that he did it in the closing minutes of the fight.
Boxing champion in the light welterweight division, in the blue corner, Shane Mosley.
Shane Mosley, the winner, 24-10, as he claims his 3rd championship. Saw his dad, Jack, very happy in his corner.
Stevie Johnston scored 1 point in the final round. It was 10-9. Mosley scored 14 scoring blows to 1 for Stevie Johnston. So maybe that head cold we talked about, I don't like to make excuses for Johnston or take anything away from Shane Mosley, but clearly Johnston was not up to it in the 3rd round, Mel.
All right, Kevin, we'll be back with more boxing action from Colorado Springs in just a moment. Stay with us.
Aquí están los protagonistas, Félix Savon de Cuba y Lamont Brewster de Estados Unidos en la final de los 91 kilogramos. Los pesos completos tiene como límite 201 libras. El cubano Félix Savon de azul, Lamont Brewster de Estados Unidos está de rojo.
En las características de ambos boxeadores, Félix Savon tiene 27 años de edad, mide 6'4", mientras que Lamont Brewster tiene 21 años de edad, pesa 196 libras y tiene 2 pulgadas de menos, mide 6 pies, 2 pulgadas.
Félix Savon en cuartos de final le ganó a Angus Lewis de San Vicente y Granadina por nocaut en el primer asalto. En las semifinales, combate que presenciamos acá en Telemundo, venció al argentino Santiago Palavecino por nocaut técnico en el primer asalto. Por su parte, Lamont Brewster de Estados Unidos en cuartos de final venció a Shane Hinton de Canadá por 12-3 y en semifinales le ganó al puertorriqueño Moisés Rolón por nocaut técnico en el segundo asalto. Un tremendo gancho de izquierda que posiblemente ha sido uno de los mejores golpes propinados en lo que va de este torneo.
Así es, Lamont Brewster ha mostrado que su izquierda es realmente muy dañina, especialmente en su última pelea, René, cuando mandó a las cuerdas a su contrincante, pero la derecha de Félix Savon ha puesto a temblar a más de uno de sus contrincantes.
El alcance, la estatura, como tú bien indicaste, Ricardo, favorecen al cubano Félix Savón. La experiencia, un boxeador que tiene más de 300 peleas efectuadas como amateur, tiene 312 victorias con 12 derrotas, pero de esas 12 derrotas, 8 han sido por nocaut.
Eso quiere decir que Félix Savón, cuando lo toca, no tiene una quijada muy fuerte, y de las 12 derrotas, 8 han sido por nocaut, pero en la otra cara de la moneda, Lamont Brewster no tiene tanta experiencia, por supuesto, tiene solamente 45 victorias, 7 derrotas en su carrera como boxeador amateur.
El referee de este combate es Vidales de Grecia, los jueces son Del Mónico de Chile, Olivares de Argentina, Montero de República Dominicana, Urbina de Venezuela y Bonilla de Colombia.
Hay que recordar el antecesor de Félix Savón, el otro gran peso completo de Cuba, Teófilo Stevenson, que ganó medallas en 3 Juegos Panamericanos seguidos, desde 1971 hasta 1979, por supuesto.